Good morning, all. Today I am going to continue the session of basic concept of object-oriented programming. As I already explained, object, class, and data abstraction and encapsulation. And the next session is inheritance. Inheritance means the mechanism of deriving a new class from an old class is called inheritance. It is possible to inherit attribute and method from one class to another. For that, one subclass and superclass is there. The old class is known as a base class, and while the new class is called derived class or a subclass. Subclass means the class that inherit from another class, and the superclass means it's a parent class, the class being inherited from. It is the most powerful features of object-oriented programming. Through effective use of inheritance, you can save a lot of time in your programming and also reduce errors. It's a process by which one object can acquire and use the properties of another object. As I already told, the existing class is base class or a superclass, and the new class is derived or subclass. The derived class shares some of the properties of the base class. Therefore, a code from a base class can be reused by a derived class. And the different type of inheritance are single inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, and multi-level inheritance. That I will explain in detail later. Taking one example of inheritance. Here, vehicle is a superclass and the base class subclass is car, boat, and flight. Class car and class boat can be derived from class vehicle. Though both class means class car and boat has the same features of a vehicle. In OOP, inheritance provide reusability of code. Next session is polymorphism. Polymorphism means many form, and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. The property of an object or operator to behave differently in different instances. The ability of an operator and function to take multiple form is known as a polymorphism. The different type of polymorphism are operator overloading and function overloading. For example, plus operator may add two numbers in one instance, and the same plus operator may append two strings in another instance. For example, 4 plus 5 equal to 9. Here plus is used for adding two numbers. And another example, account plus number equal to account number. Here plus symbol is used for string concatenation. Operator overloading and function overloading are the two types of overloading. When an existing operator operates on new data type, it's called operator overloading. And function overloading means two or more function have same name but different in the number of arguments or data type of arguments. Next is dynamic binding and message passing. Dynamic binding means binding is the process of connecting one program to another. The process of linking the procedure code to a specific sequence of code or function at runtime or during the execution of the program. Dynamic binding, also called light binding, is the mechanism a computer program waits until runtime to bind the name of a method called to an actual subroutine. It is an alternative to early binding or static binding. And message passing. Objects are a representation of real world, and objects communicate with each other via messages. When two or more objects communicate with each other, that means that those objects are sending and receiving messages. It's often called method calling. In OOPS, processing is done by sending message to objects. A message for an object is request for execution of procedure. Message passing involves specifying the name of the object, name of the function, that is message, and the information, what information to be sent. The main difference between dynamic binding and message passing is that dynamic binding is the method of linking a procedure code with the relevant code at runtime, while message passing is a method of exchanging messages between objects. One of the example of dynamic binding is method overriding. And next is benefits of OOP. First of all, reusability. It means reusing some facilities rather than building it again and again. And the next is data redundancy and code maintenance, security, better productivity, and also polymorphism flexibility. The programs are modularized based on the principle of class and object. And also the concept of data abstraction separates object specification and object implementation. Data encapsulated along with functions. Therefore, data encapsulated along with functions. Therefore, external non-member function cannot access or modify that data, thus providing data security. And next is OOP can communicate through message passing, which makes interface description with outside system very simple and easier to develop complex software because complexity can be minimized through inheritance. And creation and implementation of object-oriented programming code is easy and reduces software development time. And also linking code and object allows related objects to share common code. This reduces code duplication and code reusability. Next is application of object-oriented programming. First of all, computer graphics application and also in CAD or CAM software and object-oriented databases and in real-time system and simulation and modeling and in client server system. And also next it can be used in artificial intelligence and expert system and also in office automation system and parallel programming. That's all. Thank you.